Picture this. Right now, you have the ability to turn your biggest life struggles into your greatest wins. But how can you do this? Let us explore Stoicism today, an old way of thinking that has helped people succeed during tough times and stay calm when everything seems crazy. This philosophy has been doing this for hundreds of years. Think back to the last time something really tested how patient you could be or made you doubt yourself. What did you do? Did you just react without thinking? Or did you take time to respond in a way that matched what you truly believe in? This is exactly where Stoicism helps us. It teaches us to face life, its problems with bravery, smart thinking, and staying balanced. Right now, we're going to look at something really important that started with old wisdom but still matters a lot in today's world. We're talking about teaching your mind to respond instead of just reacting. This isn't only about not losing your temper or staying calm when things get hard. It's about building a strong sense of knowing what is happening around you, staying focused on what is happening right now so you can handle life, its good times and bad times with style and purpose. The Stoics were old-time thinkers who believed in practical ways to live life. They had plenty to say about this topic. They thought that even though we can control what happens to us, we can control how we understand these things and how we respond to them. Stoicism shows us to focus on what we can actually control. It teaches us to step back from outside situations and instead focus on the smart choices we make ourselves. This Stoic wisdom helps us stop, think, and pick a way to act that makes sense and is done on purpose, instead of acting without thinking first. But why does this matter so much? Well, think about how much worry, feeling sorry about things, and anger comes from quick reactions to what people say or do. Now picture being able to stay calm, balanced, and thoughtful, even when everything around you is the complete opposite. This isn't just about making your mind more peaceful. It is about becoming someone who gets more done, cares more about others, and bounces back better from problems. These are qualities that can change not just your life, but also the lives of people around you. In what we talk about today, we look at different ways that use both today, this psychology and Stoic thinking to help you build this way of responding. We examine how to grow mindfulness, why it is important to figure out your feelings and share them in helpful ways, and how to remember the big picture, something the Stoics were really good at. When we finish talking, you have a set of tools to help you stop, look at what is happening, and respond in a thoughtful way to whatever life brings your way. So let us start this journey together, learning to ground ourselves in Stoic wisdom and the strength of our own minds to pick our responses. This will change our experiences and how we interact with others for the better. As we work to understand what it really means to respond instead of react, we enter a space where every thought and action has a purpose. This matches the deep teachings of Stoicism. The Stoics were those respected wise people from old Greece and Rome. They had a way of looking at life that works surprisingly well in our busy modern world. They taught that controlling your emotions and reactions has real value. They stressed that real power comes from our ability to choose how we respond to any situation we face. So why is it so important to build a response instead of a quick reaction? Picture yourself in a stressful meeting or dealing with a personal problem. What humans usually do is react by instinct, pushed by the sudden rush of emotions. This reaction might be natural, but it's rarely what is best for us when we think about the long term. This kind of behavior can make fights worse, damage our relationships with people, and cause us to make choices that we feel bad about later on. This is exactly where Stoic wisdom really shows its value. The Stoics had faith in living life based on what is natural and what makes sense. They pushed for a way of life where everything you do comes from good character and smart thinking. When we take on this way of thinking, we start to watch our first urges, look at them with clear thinking, and pick actions that match what we truly care about and what we want to achieve over time. Choosing to respond instead of just reacting means you take a moment to stop when something triggers you. It's about pulling back to look at not just what is happening outside of you, but also how you feeling inside about it. This thinking pause lets you think about different ways things could turn out and pick the one that makes sense, stays balanced, and most importantly, is something you can actually control. When you use this Stoic way of doing things, you're not pushing down your feelings or acting like they were not there. What you're doing instead is accepting that they exist, figuring out where they come from, and then choosing whether they should affect what you do and how much. This approach gives you the power to deal with the world in a way that keeps your inner calm and your honesty intact, no matter what is happening around you. But why responding matters more than reacting goes way beyond just keeping yourself peaceful. It affects how good your relationships are, how well you can lead others, and how well you bounce back when things get tough. When you respond after thinking it through, you show that you respect others, understand them, and care about their points of view and what they've been through. This creates interactions that mean more and actually help build something good. Starting a life-changing journey to train your mind takes more than just wanting to do it. It needs focused and steady work, just like what the Stoics talked about doing. These old thinkers give us ideas that never get old and can support our modern way of building a mind that responds thoughtfully instead of just reacting quickly. First, let us dig into how powerful knowing yourself can be. This is a basic part of Stoic thinking. The Stoics stress how important it is to look inside yourself and understand your own thoughts and what drives you. For us, this means building a sharp awareness of how our minds and emotions are doing. When you know what you rethinking and feeling, you're better prepared to handle these things well. This stronger self-awareness helps you notice when emotional reactions are starting and gives you that crucial first step toward picking a different response that makes more sense. Next, we look at the habit of stopping for a moment, a simple but really powerful approach. Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic who also happened to be an emperor. He talked a lot about the gap between what happens to us and how we respond. That gap where we have the power to choose what we do. By building the habit of pausing, even if it is just for a couple of seconds, we give ourselves the chance to step away from what we want to do right away. This pause can be filled with taking a deep breath, a moment where we think things through, or a quick time of quiet thinking. It is during this space that we can check in with our inner Stoic, asking ourselves what doing the right thing looks like in this moment and what response matches up with our best self. Another really important approach is changing how we look at things, a method that Stoics use to stay balanced when facing hard times. This means we purposely choose to see a situation from a different angle, one that makes it less emotionally charged and shows us other ways to deal with it. For example, instead of looking at a tough situation at work as something dangerous, you could see it as a chance to grow and show how well you can handle difficulties. By changing the story we tell ourselves, we change how we feel emotionally and create new ways we can take action. What is more, the Stoics believe strongly in focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can to control. When we practice this idea, we learn to use our energy in smart ways. We respond actively to our own thoughts and actions while accepting outside events as they happen. This doesn't mean sitting back and not caring. Instead, it is about seeing where our real power is and choosing to act there with purpose and honesty. Finally, making it a habit to think about things regularly and make changes is the key to training your mind. The Stoics looked at themselves every day, checking how they acted and how much progress they made toward being good people. In the same way, we can end our day by thinking about how we responded to things, feeling good about the times we chose thoughtful actions, and learning from the times we went back to just reacting. This ongoing process of looking at ourselves and getting better helps build a mindset that responds well and grows the wisdom and balance that Stoicism values so much. By making these approaches part of our everyday lives, we don't just honor what the Stoics left behind, but we also give ourselves the power to live with more purpose, calmness, and success. Through practicing consistently, we change our minds, leading them toward responses that show our deepest values and what we hope to achieve at its heart. Mindfulness is all about building a strong awareness of what is happening right now. It is about watching our thoughts, feelings, and body sensations without judging them. This lets us understand better how they work and how they affect us. When we practice mindfulness, we line up with what the Stoics were trying to do, live with awareness and purpose. We anchor ourselves solidly in the present moment, which is the only time we actually have the power to do something. One real way to build mindfulness is through exercises that focus your attention, like breathing meditation. Just by watching our breath and noticing each time we breathe in and out, we build up our ability to keep our attention steady and bring it back to where we want it focused when our mind starts to wander. This practice isn't just about getting relaxed. It is like a gym for your mind. It makes us better at concentrating and staying present even when life gets distracting and difficult. Another important practice is mindful watching, which you can use with any everyday activity. This turns that activity into a chance to practice mindfulness. Whether you eating food, taking a walk, or even doing boring tasks, you can practice being completely involved with what you redoing. You watch every part of it with interest and an open mind. This doesn't just make the experience itself better. It also makes you stronger at staying focused and able to respond well in different situations. Body scan meditation is another strong mindfulness method that helps you become more aware of your body and more present. By carefully going through different parts of your body with your attention, we dawn to just build a better connection with our physical selves. We also learn to notice and let go of stored up tension and emotions. This practice matches the Stoic way of thinking about what happens in our bodies and why it is important not to let these things control our thinking minds too much. Bringing mindfulness into how we interact with other people can also change our relationships and how we communicate. By being completely present with others, listening carefully and watching without judging, we create deeper understanding and connection. This practice lines up with the Stoic value of caring about others and recognizing that other people are also thinking beings who are dealing with their own problems and experiences. By taking on these mindfulness practices, we walk on a path that the Stoics walked before us. It's a path that leads to seeing things more clearly, feeling more peaceful, and being more effective in what we do. As we build up a mindful presence, we give ourselves the tools to respond to life, its problems that will definitely come with grace, wisdom, and staying calm. This shows the best of what it means to live a life inspired by Stoicism. Now let's shift our attention toward actually using our new mindfulness and Stoic understanding in real life. We want to build a lifestyle where responding thoughtfully beats out reactive urges. This journey to make response win over reaction isn't just about holding back natural reflexes. Instead, it's about making our engagement with life richer. This matches the Stoic virtue of living with purposeful intention and clear thinking. To live out the principles we talked about, it is really important to set up daily practices that strengthen the skill of responding. Picture yourself facing a challenging situation, maybe a disagreement at work or an unexpected problem. Your immediate urge might be to react with emotions, pushed by frustration or disappointment. But this is exactly the moment to use our Stoic-inspired training to stop and think about the bigger picture. We ask ourselves, what would a Stoic philosopher do? This question isn't asking us to push down our emotions. Instead, it is asking us to use our thinking mind, to look at the situation without getting caught up in emotions, and to find responses that actually help. Here, we're not getting rid of emotions, but directing them in useful ways. We use our reasoning to work through them. It's about accepting our feelings, understanding what sets them off, and then with clear thinking and calmness, deciding the best thing to do that matches our values and goals. In practical terms, this might mean taking a short walk to clear your head before you respond to an email that made you angry. Or it might mean looking deeper at what is really bothering you in a fight, trying to find the real issues instead of just reacting to the surface problems. Every time you choose to respond instead of react, you making stronger a pattern of thoughtful engagement with life's challenges. You rebuilding resilience and growing a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction. What is more, bringing this approach into your daily routines makes its impact even bigger. Start your day by thinking about your intentions, reminding yourself that you recommitted to responding thoughtfully in different situations. Do regular journaling to think about your responses, celebrate when you succeed, and figure out areas where you can grow. And importantly, embrace a mindset of always learning and adapting. Recognize that each day gives you fresh chances to practice and get better at mastering response over reaction. By committing to this path, you're not just adopting a strategy for reducing stress or managing conflicts. You embracing a way of life that shows the Stoic pursuit of virtue and wisdom. You choosing to live with intentionality, making your actions line up with your highest ideals. In doing this, you contributing to a world that is more reasoned, compassionate, and responsive. The journey from reaction to response changes you completely. It calls us toward a deeper engagement with our inner selves and the world outside us. It is a path that the Stoics walked with hard work and dedication. Now, with their wisdom guiding us, we too can aim to handle life's ups and downs with grace, balance, and rational thinking. We can embody the true spirit of Stoicism in our modern time. The heart of what we re-exploring isn't just about managing our reactions by themselves. It's about weaving a responsive, thoughtful approach into the very fabric of our lives. When we take on the ideas of Stoicism, putting our attention on what we can actually control, acting based on good reasoning, and working toward being good people, we give ourselves the power to handle life's problems with more balance and clear direction. This path, inspired by Stoicism, pushes us to see every single moment as a chance to practice our dedication to responding instead of just reacting. When we read dealing with everyday annoyances, big problems, or important choices we need to make, each situation gives us an opportunity to show the Stoic values of wisdom, bravery, fairness, and self-control. The beauty of this approach is that it works in all areas of our lives. At work, when a coworker says something that normally would make us angry, we can pause and think about the best way to handle it. At home, when family members get on our nerves, we can choose to respond with patience instead of snapping back. Even in traffic jams or when dealing with rude customers, we have the power to stay calm and think clearly about what to do next. When we keep choosing to respond after thinking things through, we don't just make our own lives better. We also make a positive difference in the lives of people around us. Think about it this way: when you stay calm during a stressful situation, other people around you tend to calm down too. When you listen carefully before speaking, others feel heard and understood. When you choose kindness over anger, you inspire others to do the same. This creates a ripple effect that spreads far beyond what you might expect. Keep in mind that the journey toward getting good at responding instead of reacting never really ends. It is a process where we keep learning and growing all the time. Some days will be easier than others. Some days you will handle everything perfectly, staying calm and thoughtful no matter what happens. Other days, you might slip back into old habits and react without thinking first. That is completely normal and part of being human. Just like the Stoics did, we need to take on the discipline of looking at ourselves honestly. We need to regularly check how we are doing and change our direction when we need to. This might mean setting aside a few minutes each evening to think about how we handled different situations during the day. Did we respond or did we react? What could we do better tomorrow? What did we do well that we could build on? This kind of honest self-reflection isn't about beating ourselves up when we make mistakes. Instead, it is about learning from every experience and getting a little bit better each day. The Stoics understood that becoming a better person is like building muscle. It takes time, practice, and patience with yourself. This commitment to growing as a person doesn't just bring us closer to who we want to be. It also spreads outward, affecting our relationships, our communities, and the bigger picture of how all our lives connect together. When we become more thoughtful and less reactive, our relationships get stronger. We become better friends, better family members, and better coworkers. We contribute to making our communities more peaceful and understanding places to live. The impact goes even further than that. When we model this behavior, we teach others that there is a different way to handle life's challenges. Children watch how we respond to stress and learn from our example. Friends and coworkers see how we stay calm under pressure and might start trying it themselves. In small but important ways, we help create a world where people think before they act and choose understanding over anger. As we come to the end of this journey we've taken together, remember that every moment is a choice, a chance to show the calmness, the ability to bounce back, and the wisdom that Stoicism teaches us. Whether you are facing a major life change or just dealing with the small frustrations that come up every day, you have the power to choose how you respond. In the big picture of life, your responses are like threads of your character that are woven together with intention and purpose. Each time you choose thoughtfulness over reaction, you are adding another strong thread to the fabric of who you are. Over time, these threads create a pattern of strength, wisdom, and peace that defines not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. This is your invitation to continue building that character, one response at a time, one day at a time, for the rest of your life. What's the one area of your life where you most need to shift from reacting to responding? Work, family, traffic? Let's discuss. If you found this video useful, please like it and subscribe to the channel. There are more videos on this channel that will help you become a better version of yourself.